Hello, this is Anne, and I have a few things I'd like to show you. And this is, not every day that I do this, but I have knitting here for a new model, and I'm actually able to give you a little talk with three different new techniques, or it might not be new, but I'm going to show you how to do three different things. This edge here, I'm going to show you how to do that. I showed you that in a different video as well, but I'm going to do it again. I'm also going to talk to you about how to do that cable, and also I'm going to show you how to knit backwards in a way. Some of you are most likely, quite a few of you are most likely continental knitters. No, not continental knitters, throwers. So you probably know how to do this, but still I'm going to show you how to knit backwards instead of knitting pearls, okay? So what's happening is when you knit backwards is that you don't knit on the purl side, you knit on the knit side all the way, so you knit backwards. And the reason why you can do that is because if you see here, you see that there is a row that is looser than the row below and on top, and that is because I've done this on the this one is done on the pearls, it's purling, right? I've done this on the purl side, and often you purl more loosely than you knit. So this is likely to happen to quite a few of us unless we concentrate a lot, and I have my concentration obviously has slipped here. So let's get going. Sorry. Let's get started. First of all, I'm going to finish the last few stitches until we do the purl, because I have a purl and then I have the cable, then a purl, and then the edge I'm going to show you later. So normally you would use a cable needle to help you on this one, but here, and obviously as you can see, I really shouldn't be twisting here, but I'm doing it to show you how to do this. And so I'm going to take it, knit backwards literally later. What you do is that you I do use this technique when there is 2, 4, or also sometimes 6 stitches in the cable. I slip off all the 4 stitches. Okay, hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. Then what I do is that it depends on what way the cable is going to turn, but here it's going to go to the left, and I slip the right needle into the last 2 stitches. After that, I slip the left needle into the 2 first stitches, and then it actually is zips. There you see, now it's twisted. Then I move those 2 knit stitches on the right hand needle over to the left hand needle, and now what you do is that you knit. You knit those 4 stitches like this, and then you knit the purl. Okay, so here you see it. Now I've done the twist. There's an extra twist there on the cable, because as I told you, I do 1 purl on each side of the cable. That's very often what they do to make sure that the cable pops in a way. So now it's time to do the edge. We're going to make this nice little rounded edge with no knots or nothing in it. And I've showed you this before, as I said earlier, but I'm going to show it right again. When you get to the last 2 stitches, you bring the yarn in front of the work. Then you slip those 2 last stitches onto the right hand needle without knitting anything. Just slip them over. Okay, and the yarn is in front. Now you turn your work like you should be knitting, back, purling back. And then what you do is that you knit those 2 stitches plain. And yes, you're going to lose 1 stitch on each side doing it like this, and if that is vital for your measurements on this one, you just add a stitch, okay? And then you get this nice rounded thing edge. It's really cool. So now I'm gonna knit over the cable, and that's basically because I don't fancy doing the if I was doing this knitting in the front, it's difficult with the purling, the knitting flat backwards. It's not, you can do it, but it complicates things. So now I've done the cable and I turn it again. But now I also turn the knitting inside out so that you get back to, you know, the normal knitting side. And now we're going to knit backwards. So what you do is that, as I told you before, this is, you know, for me, it's a matter of getting the stitches even. And it's also a matter of, you know, another thing is to help the wrist, to not strain the wrist as much. So it helps a lot if you have wrists that feel, you know, that have been knitting too much. You probably will notice that doing this doesn't mean that you don't move your wrist as much as you do when you do the continental purling, at least. I'm not quite sure how you guys do it when you throw, but I'm the type that use my wrist a lot when I purl, but I don't very often purl because I'm normally knitting around. So let's get going on this one. Now we're going to knit backwards without using the wrist. So what you do is that you put the left needle into the stitch on the right needle in the back. That's important. It has to go in the back, like that. Then you pull the yarn. I keep the yarn on my left-hand finger as I would if I knit it, you know, normally. So you pull the yarn and pull it over the left-hand needle like that, and then you slip the needle, the stitch over the yarn and off the needle. And there you go. Again, into the back. Pull the yarn over the left-hand needle, then use the right-hand needle to pull the stitch over the yarn and slip it off the needle. Into the back, pull the yarn over, and then stitch over yarn and off the needle. Okay? Make sure that you also, I'm gonna do it a bit quicker, and it takes time, but it doesn't take that much time actually. And if you slip it off like that, it's easy to just, you know, go in again and move that needle, that stitch over. If you make sure that you do that you stretch the knitting, because that gives enough. If not, if you know, collect all the stitches in a small space, they're going to be tight. So if you do that, you make sure that you get a little space and an extra millimeter between each stitch. Also make a note that I use the thumb on the left hand to keep the yarn in place while I do the movements, and my right hand wrist is not moving much. It isn't moving at all. It's just moving up or down and no twisting whatsoever. Okay, so there you go. Into the back, yarn over, and stitch over yarn and off the needle. I hope this is useful for some of you. You never know when it might come in handy. Use it, try it out, use it when you need it, and if not, you know, there's just a new thing that you learned. If you knew it already, thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this. See you soon. This is Anne, and I am telling you, it's time to go and knit some magic. See ya.